G'day, how's it going? Welcome back to my 100 Days Ultimate Survivor series. If you haven't watched the previous videos in this series, go check them out. Now that I've ascended from Scorched Earth, I have to conquer Aberration, one of Ark's hardest maps. Can I take down Alpha Rockwell within 100 days? Let's find out.
You've come so far, Survivor. This place was once a vibrant Ark, filled with wondrous creatures, before it was contaminated and compromised beyond repair. Long ago, Helena confronted her fellow explorer Rockwell here, when his obsession twisted him beyond humanity and reason. Even Helena could not truly put an end to Rockwell's madness. And he survived here in the shadows all this time, feeding on poison and growing stronger. You have to finish what Helena started. If we are to save Earth, Rockwell must be stopped. If there's anything left of the person that Helena knew, Edmund would want to be stopped. Steel yourself, Survivor, for here terrors await you.
Day 1, and I'm spawning in the portal area, and I don't immediately get attacked by a gang of raptors, so that's a very good start. It doesn't take me long to get some basic tools, and then I take down my first innocent bystander. I use the hide to make myself a full set of cloth armor. I quickly find crystal, which is awesome, because I can make a spyglass, which would usually take me 2 or 3 days to get, since crystal's hard to come by in the early game. I then get my first tame, a level 35 moss chops, which I named Jenny. These guys are an awesome first tame. They gather fiber and berries really well, and they also have decent weight for how small of dino they are. I bowler and kill this parasaur for its meat and hide, and then I find an ovis, which I again bowler and kill. I want to use the mutton to tame a bulb dog. I tame this level 15 bulb dog. It's not much, but it's just a good start. And I name him Booth. And then me and the gang drop into this lake river thing, and we're gonna go look for a spot to start our first little base. I then find this little shelter. It's pretty much mostly closed in, and there's 2 metal nodes there as well. So I'm gonna set up here for the moment. I get the basics down, forge, mortar and pestle, and then I go and farm some metal so I can make a smithy and metal tools. Once I have enough smelted, I drop down the smithy, and I was able to make a metal pick, and I'm going to farm the rest of those nodes. I then placed down some more forges to smelt all the metal I got, and had my first earthquake, which was super infuriating. I slapped down a preserving bin and a bed, and then I get some campfires going to cook my meat. The meat I got from killing dinos. And then on to day 3, Jenny helped me out by gathering a bunch of berries, so I can make narcotics to tame some dinos. I spot this raptor pack right in front of my base, and I decide I probably need to deal with it. I make some bowlers, and I start trying to take down these raptors. Which is when I remember that raptors can knock you down, and they can even knock you off your mount on Aberration. They are super annoying. Luckily this guy was only a level 10, and I eventually get him bowlered and killed. But time's ticking down and those bowlers are about to run out. Initially they all started running away, but that's when things went terribly wrong. So yeah, day 3 and I already have my first death. Coming off Scorched Earth, I was pretty cocky, and Aberration is very harsh and non-forgiving. As day 3 comes to an end, I find this dire bear stuck in a wall at my base. So, I decide to knock him out. And by the morning of day 4, he's knocked out. I also tame this level 130 raptor, and I name my bear Pooh, and the raptor Blue. After exploring the lands a little bit, I come across this level 130 Ravager, and I must have it. I then gather materials to set up a small trap. Then I get the Ravagers to follow me into it, and I find out that Ravagers can destroy wood. So this is not good. I decide to try and pick them off from a distance, so for when they do eventually get out, I'm far enough away that I should be okay. I eventually kill all of the Ravagers, except the level 130 that's mysteriously disappeared. I eventually find her on day 5, but she won't chase me. I thought maybe because she has no pack she won't attack, but I don't know, I've never tamed a Ravager before. But I do get a bowler on her, and I start knocking her out, and then this happens.
No, 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 no! Wait, 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 wait! Wait, 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 wait! What? What the f?
So yeah, she baited me. She just turned around and started attacking me, and I don't understand why. And then when I got back, she wouldn't chase me again. But then eventually she did. I don't know, man. I don't understand the Ravager mechanics, but I did tame her eventually. So after having another death, I decided to make a full flak set of armor. I found an awesome Mastercraft crossbow, and I put my Ravager to work already by doing a metal run. And right here is why Ravagers are so amazing on Aberration. They can use these natural ziplines, and they can also use ones that you make, which is awesome. Plus, they have crazy high weight, and they get weight reductions on most, if not all, resources, I think. Day 6 rolls around, and I make my first glider suit. Again, these are great for Aberration, considering how the map is, and they're super fun to use. With all the materials I gathered with my Ravager, I was able to make a fabricator, and then I made a chainsaw. And having a chainsaw while sitting on a Ravager is a sweet combo. Like, there's probably better ways to do it, but this is super easy and very efficient. I then end day 6 by farming a bunch of trilobites. I need their black pearls to make a mining drill. But I still need some crystal and cementing paste. Day 7 starts with me trying to find a high level male Ravager. I don't find anything above this level 60, so I knock it out and tame it, and I'll just breed upwards. Then the Ravagers get to know each other.
Yeah, boy.
I then get my first little baby Ravager, and it ends up having the good stats, so I raise it and imprint it. I take my Ravager out to go and level him up, and I come across this pretty sus plant. And then, I don't know how to say this without getting demonetized, but it excretes its seed. While I was exploring, these Titanoboas knock me deep into the blue zone, and I do not have a light pet. So I'm trying to find my way out, and I spot this purple drop, but a level 20 Megalosaur was guarding it. I figured I could probably take it down, considering it was only level 20, and yeah. The Megalosaur then yanks my Ravager off me, and is starting to do crazy damage to it, whilst Nameless is spawning because I don't have a light pet. I'm trying to help the Ravager, but I'm being attacked and chased. I manage to get it, and then it yanks it back off me yet again. A Nameless Alpha is now spawned, and it breaks all of my armor. And at this point, I just know my Ravager Trivium is dead. So I just run to the purple drop to see if I get any good loot. And damn, 560 armor flak gauntlets. That was definitely worth the setback. Having said that though, I need to get revenge for Trivium. Thankfully, for some reason the Megalosaur was just frozen. I think he knew his death was imminent and just accepted it. I then had to run all the way back home. Day 8, and I decided I want some dinos that can actually take things down. So I went out looking for some Spinos. I then get a level 85 tamed. Not the greatest level, but it was the only one I could find at the moment. And it would help me get high level ones later. I then just run up and down the river killing everything in sight to eventually get some high level Spinos spawning. After almost a full day, I come across this bad boy, a level 130 with some pretty sweet colors. While I'm waiting for the Spino to tame, I get this Ravager raising up, and then by the morning of day 9, the Spino is good to go. I then tested out my mining drill on these 2 metal nodes, and hot damn, this thing's insane. I actually have gathering rates on my character lowered, just so it encourages using dinos, and even with that I still got like almost 4k metal. Spino breeding has begun. I'm trying to get the best stats combined, because I'll need a few Spinos when I go down to the Rock Drake Trench to get some eggs. A few days ago I set this gas collector down, and on day 9 I go to collect all the gas, and there's heaps there. I think I was able to make 3 hazard suits, which you obviously need to go down to the radiation area, which is where the rock drake eggs are. I kill these 2 alpha crabs with my newly imprinted Spino, and then I got mugged. I think the only reason I didn't die here was because of those insane gauntlets. Day 11, and it's time to set up my main base. Over the next 2 days, I bring across all of my workbenches and my dinos. I set up some water, and on day 13 I raise a new line of Spinos. Then, over the next 5 days, I build my base. Okay, I'm about to go down to the Rock Drake Trench. It's very early morning of day 19. I actually don't know the way down on foot, so I'm gonna try and glide. Because I'm pretty sure if you follow this like metal spiral thing, it takes you down to the trench. So I have successfully made it down to the Rock Drake Trench. Now I will just take out rock drakes one by one instead of grabbing an egg and having them all swarm me at once. It just makes it easier that way. Now to climb up and get my first egg. And it's a level 25, which is extremely terrible, but it's something. A level 95, still not great, but much better.
Holy crap. I think we're fine, I think we're fine.
So after a full day of collecting eggs, I ended up with another level 80, a 90, a 15, 45, and then another 80.
No way, my game just crashed, dude. Please tell me I don't have to do all of that again. Even if I've just got one egg. If I've just got one egg, I'm chilling. I'll take it and go. Oh crap. No, my shine horn! Oh crap, this is not good. What have we got? 95, 90. I just have to run.
So yeah, that sucked. But at least I have 2 eggs that are a half decent level, but now I'm stuck in the red zone without a light pet. As I'm traveling back up the path, I find one of the sus plants, I grab one of its seeds, and I tame the first featherlight I come in contact with. Now that I have a featherlight, I'm safe from the nameless, and I just gotta find my way out.
Where the flip am I going?
Thankfully, I didn't come across any Reaper Queens, cause I definitely would have died.
This is promising.
I eventually find my way into the blue zone, and after that, I pretty quickly got my way back to the base. Day 20, and the first thing I did was hatch my rock drakes. I then set up my indie cooker so I can start making med brews. Day 21, and my drakes are raised and imprinted. I start getting used to the flying mechanics, and then once I'm comfortable, I head right back into the trench because I want some actually decent eggs. And once you have a rock drake, it's much easier to get more.
Oh my god!
Literally the first egg I found was a 175. I guess the Ark gods felt bad for me after my game crashed, so thank you. After raiding a few more nests, I find a 165 and I immediately yeet out of there because I do not want to crash and lose these. I start raising them up and then I go and kill a bunch of nameless for their venom, because when rock drakes are raising, the only thing they'll eat is nameless venom. Day 22, and I finally get their imprints. They come out with not bad stats, but I can definitely do better. While the drakes are raising, I decide to go and do my first artifact cave. This is the Artifact of the Depths, or Glowtail Cave. It's a pretty easy cave. If you just stick to the right hand side, you'll end up with the artifact. Definitely bring some climbing picks or zip lines, and it makes it a breeze. On my way out, I found this blue loot crate, and got some pretty decent gear from it. I brought some plant species Z with me, and this was the only glowtail I've found, so I tamed it. My drakes are fully raised now, so I decided to go back down the trench to find some eggs, and the first one I come across was a 185.
Eggs, 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 eggs.
So I ended up getting 2 level 185s and a 170, so hopefully they come out with decent stats. The 170 stats were terrible, and then the 185 had pretty decent health, and then the other 185 had pretty decent melee. So if I combine the stats, I'll have a pretty damn good Drake. I then decided to go to the surface to get some loot. If you didn't know, Aberration does have a surface, but you can only go up there at night, because during the day it's so hot you will just immediately die. Plus all the Reapers, Nameless and Seekers. After half an hour of loot hunting, I pretty much got nothing other than an Ascendant long neck rifle, BP, which is extremely good, so I'm definitely not complaining.
Nice.
Day 24, all I did was breed the rock drakes, because I want to combine all the good stats, so I have the ultimate drake. When the red mushrooms start making you hallucinate, if you farm them you get biotoxin. So I was gathering a bunch of that so I can make shocking darts to easily tame some megalosaurs. I then set up this zipline all the way down to the blue zone below me, because there is a crap ton of metal down there. So I can use this to go up and down and gather the metal pretty easily. Day 26 begins with more breeding with the rock drakes, and then I come across this level 140 megalosaur, so obviously I have to tame it. I'm going to be using these guys as my main army for the Rockwell fight. Between the net gun, my Ascendant long neck and the shocking darts, the megalosaur goes down very quickly. As I was going back home to get some mutton, I came across this 125, but unfortunately it had really terrible stats, so instead of wasting mutton on it, I just decided to kill it. I also found this max level Shinehorn, and it's got super cute colours. The megalosaur finally tames up, and I'm not sure what good stats are supposed to be. 7k seems decent, but I'll tame a few more to see if I can get anything better. Unfortunately, my footage for day 27 was corrupted, but all that happened that day was more rock drake breeding, and I did a surface drop hunt, but I didn't really get much from it. This is all the loot I got from day 28 surface drops. Not too much, but I got a bunch of amazing flak gear, which will come in very handy for Rockwell. I finally have a fully raised rock drake with all the good stats, which I named Sylvester, and I immediately take him out to level him up by killing Spinos. I get him to about 10k HP, 1500 stam, and almost 500 melee. This is all the loot from day 29's surface drops. I literally got nothing good except the hatchet and pick. Everything else is doubling up on what I already have. Day 30 and I'm in the red zone building a trap. You can probably already guess what this trap is for, but if you don't know, you'll find out soon. After an hour of looking for a high level, I end up settling with this level 40, which has actually been the highest I've found so far, unfortunately. I get her to chase me to the trap and get her locked in pretty easily, and now it's just time to get her health down. Taming a Reaper is not too difficult, especially if you trap it. You just need a light pet and a good source of damage. With the light pet on, it reduces the Reaper's resistance, so you can deal full damage. Then you just have to get the Reaper below, I think it's about 2k health, and it will then have a pinkish glow, showing that it can now impregnate you. As you can see here, as I back off, it has this pinkish glow I was talking about, and that means it's ready to impregnate you. So make sure you turn your light pet off, and it will sniff you, and then do what it has to do. She takes you down to 1 HP, so make sure you've got some med brews. Now depending on your raising rates, you'll have a certain amount of time to get an extra 75 levels for your Reaper. So I had a level 40, so with the extra 75 levels, it will then turn into a 115. Now make sure you're in an enclosed space, and out pops your little baby xenomorph. Day 32, and I'm waiting for my Reaper to raise, so I went out looking for some megas, and this one already had 255 melee pre-tame, And here it ends up at 381 after the tame, which is insane. I then hatch another rock drake because I want one specifically for Rockwell, and I name him Dwayne the Rock Drake. Day 33 has no sound for some reason, but in the morning I leveled up my Reaper, which I named Ripley, and these things are crazy powerful. After the imprint, I think it had about 22,000 health, and that's coming from a level 40 Reaper Queen. I can't even imagine what a max level would be like. Then I went searching for an Alpha Basilisk because I need its fang to do Alpha Rockwell. And then I came across this XP note that I couldn't unlock, so if you know why, let me know, because I'm very curious. Day 34, and I'm happy with the stats I got from the Megas I tamed, so I'm going to start combining the stats together to get a perfect male and female. With the assistance of Ripley, I got Dwayne an XP note and the kill on this crab to get him a bunch of levels very quickly. I found a 105 Reaper Queen and got impregnated by it, and when I got home I realized I wasn't recording. But now I have two. I have Ripley and Prometheus. On day 35 I wanted to get my next artifact, the artifact of the shadows. The entrance is deep in the blue zone. You need a pretty good mount to get through all the water parts. I found the rock drake was perfect for it, but you can tame like a berry or something. I immediately get dismounted by the stupid jellyfish, but I kill them off pretty quick and then I kill off the eels. The rest of the cave wasn't too bad. I took a scuba suit and I just killed off the eels and the jellyfish and then swam through pretty easily on the rock drake. Artifact of the shadows acquired. Day 36, and I set up my egg incubator in preparation for mutating the megas. Then I go do the last artifact cave on Aberration. This cave is super easy with a rock drake. Just go invis and nothing attacks you. Once I got to where the artifact should be, it wasn't there, unfortunately. So I kill everything off in the room, and then I relog to spawn it, and this happens. I've never seen dinos respawning after relogging, but that happened and it was super annoying because I don't have a spare radiation suit. But I grabbed the artifact anyway, and I decide I'm just going to try and make it to the cave's entrance. I eventually do make it to the cave's entrance and just sit there waiting for my inevitable death. I fly back down on Dwayne, grab my stuff and the artifact, and all in all it wasn't too bad, just a little bit of time wasted. And there you have it, all three artifacts are in my possession. I then spend the rest of the day breeding my megas for mutations. Days 37, 38 and 39 were all 90% night, so I pretty much spent the next 3 hours just getting loot, and the only thing that I got was a half decent pump shoddy, which I'll need for Rockwell, but I definitely need something better. Days 40 to 45, I spent all of it just breeding the Megalosauruses for mutations. It looks like an absolute mess, but I swear it's organized. I've just tried to fit in as many females as I could. On the right hand side, they're breeding for HP mutations, and on the left hand side, melee mutations. I'm keeping them separate for now, but once I've got enough, I will breed the mutations together so I can then start the army. Then I just chuck all the eggs into the egg incubator. Makes it easier for me to spot the mutations, and once I get a male with the mutation that I want, I will raise it and swap it out for the previous male. On day 46, I found this amazing shoddy blueprint. This should be more than enough for the Rockwell fight, especially because I can crafting skillet. Day 47 I found nothing, but 48 I found another piece to the puzzle, the Ascendant Megalosaurus saddle. Without this I could not do Alpha Rockwell. My last few days I dedicated to a little project. What I did here was try to bring out my inner zany zebra. I wanted to dedicate something to you guys, and well, you'll see. Okay, so out of respect for Zany, I promised to never pick up a paintbrush again. And yes, I gave myself big arms and there's a sun in the corner because apparently my artistic skill never went past the age of 8. But this comes from the heart. And as I started this video, I had almost 1,000 subscribers. And now that I'm ending it, I'm closer to 1,500, which is just mind blowing to me. I know these aren't crazy numbers or anything, but to me, it really does mean a lot. So, I just want to thank everybody that subscribed. If you haven't subscribed or liked, please do so, because it costs you nothing, but it helps me out so much. So keep following me on this journey. Aberration Part 2 will be out sooner than you think, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I'll catch you on the next one.